Today we're going to talk about the Bronc X1. What do we have here? Let's get some hydration going and then we'll talk about it. This is an adjustable wireless tattoo machine. Now this company did send me this machine to use a little bit. They wanted me to check it out, do a review on it, but I'm going to tell you, this is my full honest review. I've tattooed with this for about 3 weeks now, and I'm not going to hold back. So, stay tuned, bud. All right, right off rip, let's talk about the coolest feature of this machine. What is this machine? This is a pure wireless tattoo machine that has adjustable stroke in it. Can you see that? It has adjustable stroke. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. It goes from 2.6 all the way up to 4.0. And to be honest, I wish at this time, I wish all tattoo machines came with adjustable stroke. You might not want that or care, but I mean, it would just be a solid feature. And most machines don't have it, but guess what? This machine does have it, and it's full wireless. So what's the benefits of having a machine with an adjustable stroke length? Well, it's very versatile and well-rounded. So let's say you're an artist that does a lot of different styles of work. Say you want to do color and pack heavy line work. Well, adjust it to 4.0. Say you want to switch, and the next day you have a black and gray tattoo. Well, adjust it down to 3 or 2.6. You can adjust it on the fly, and it makes it very versatile. Basically, this makes it a one machine. That's all you need is just one machine instead of multiple ones. You don't need a machine with a 4.0 for lining. You don't need a machine for color packing. You don't need a black and gray designated machine. You just need one that has an adjustable stroke length. And I'm here to tell you that the new Bronc X1 has that, and the price point is pretty good at $398. But the market is very competitive, so we're going to talk about that a little bit later. This machine comes with a charging station and 2 batteries. And the batteries are pretty cool. It's like the vape style batteries. You know what? Let's just show you. Let's open this bad boy up right here. I'll do some B-roll, but it comes with 2 batteries. Very nice. To put it on, you just twist the cap very simply. Very simply. Very simply. And there you go. Now, one of the best things that impressed me about this machine is that it is absolutely just built like a tank. This just feels very high quality. I mean, the finish is very nice. It's flawless. It feels like maybe like aluminum. The grip is a little bit heavier, but I mean, as far as the manufacturing of this, 10 out of 10. Very high quality. No cons in that department. Another thing I really like is the grip. It's a tapered grip and it's very nice, and it has a lot of twisting to it before you can dial it in. Very lightweight grip. It's very nice. You can really twist it. It has a very tactile click feel too. But yeah, I like the finish. It looks really cool. It comes in 5 colors. There is a red, black, silver. There's a green. And then this is the army green, which I really enjoyed, honestly. This is my favorite out of the colors. It's my vibe, bro. So I want to show you a cool feature. I think this possibly could be one of the coolest features of this machine besides the adjustable stroke, but that this machine you can turn into an RCA adapted machine. And it just cuts the weight down and the length. Check this out. All you do is you twist off the battery pack, which is very easy, like so. And you put on the RCA thing and you just screw it in. Now, I know RCA is a little bit older. Not a lot of artists use it anymore, but if you do and you use a foot pedal, this is awesome. Look at that. I feel like this machine, to me, feels better in this format than it does with the battery grip attached. But once again, we'll talk about that later of why I think that. There is a little screen here. This machine, it's very straightforward. It's very easy to operate. You just hold this little button here and the screen turns on, and then you push the button again and the machine starts up. There are a few settings that can also be tweaked in the screen. It's pretty straightforward. There's jump start mode, there's voltage mode, there's a few different presets you can set. You can change it to amps or showing your volts, which is pretty cool. There's a timer mode in here, and it's very easy. You just hold this button, you can cycle through and do it. The same way to turn it off. It auto shuts off if you just leave it down, but to fully shut it off, you just hold the button. There's a little symbol that shows shut off, and you just click it, and it turns the machine off. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward, very functional, and it works very well. Something else I like is this is just, it's very easy to clean and disassemble. You just twist the battery off like this. You can do that, and you just twist the grip off like this. It does take a little bit to twist, but that's cool. And there you go. You can oil it up there. There's a few contact points if you want to grease it. Clean it up really good, twist the grip back on, twist back on the battery pack or the RCA if that's what you're using. And there you go, you're back in business, buddy. The diameter of this machine is 37 millimeters, and the length of this is 142 millimeters, which honestly is a little bit on the longer side. This is the longest pen-style tattoo machine that I own, and the weight of this thing, this is a little bit heavy. It really is. 251 grams, which is roughly 8.85 ounces. Now, this is almost double the weight of the machine that I'm used to using. This is a heavy machine. It really is. The motor is a DC Swiss motor, and it's very powerful. It really is. I have no issues with the power of this machine. It's very, very well made. They definitely did not cut corners in the quality of this machine and the manufacturing. As I showed earlier, there is the batteries that come with the vape style batteries that drop in. I got about 7 hours roughly, a little bit less, but that was leaving the machine completely on. I just left it on running. I didn't turn it off really at all. Did 7 hours. That's pretty good. That's pretty on par with the competition. Most machines last 6 to 8 hours roughly, depending on how long you leave it on. If you want to turn it off more, you take more breaks, you'll probably get a little bit longer out of that. But I think that was solid. The batteries also seem to charge pretty quick too. I had like a full charge in like 2-3 hours maybe. No issues with that. Nothing noticeable that was out of the norm with the batteries or charging them. Let's talk about the pros of this machine, of the Bronc X1. The first pro, you can't get over the fact that this is just a high quality machine. It really is built like a tank. I'm not just saying that. This feels like you could take this and literally throw it against the wall and it wouldn't break. It probably will, but it feels like it wouldn't. You could probably street fight with this bad boy. I'm not joking. The finish is really nice. The colors are nice. Everything cosmetically and structural is really good with this machine. Another pro is the adjustable stroke length. It's just cool. Even if you don't like it, it's a cool feature. It's a feature that a lot of people do want. And for the price point of $398, I think this is a very competitive price for what you're getting with the adjustable stroke length and the quality of this machine. $398 is good. I don't think you can really argue that. Adjustable stroke, $398. Solid quality machine. I did run this for about 3 weeks. I did multiple tattoos with this, and it's very powerful. It runs really smooth. I had no issues with running the machine, with the machine being smooth and powerful. It hits good. The stroke lengths, when you adjust them, you actually feel the difference. It's not like a gimmick. It's not like all the same, right? Like when you have 4, it seems like a solid, hits like a 4. When you go down to 2, you notice it. It's a little bit quicker. I really like that. Oh, I almost dropped it, bro. Almost dropped it. And there's also a 1-year warranty that comes with this. This is pretty cool. So if you do get a lemon by perhaps, or if something does happen, I'm sure you could, send it back to them and they'll probably refund you or send you a new one. And I don't know much about the company, the Bronc machine, but so far I've had no issues. The customer service was great, easy to contact, responded to me. The warranty probably works really good. I don't think that'll be an issue. I didn't have any shady feelings about that at all, really. With those pros, there are always some cons with any tattoo machine, any equipment, anything in life that you get, there's gonna be cons, right? So I'm gonna give you some cons that are overall a little bit nitpicky, but I'll talk about some ones that affected me a little bit. All right, so let's start with some of those. Here's a small one. Now, it's the battery charging station. It just feels a little bit cheaper than you would get with competitor machines. It's a little bit, I don't know if you can see this, watch this. It's a little bit like janky to pull down. It's tough. It still charges great, it works, but I'm guessing this is one of the areas they use to cut costs of the final product, which, like I said, it's a minor thing, but it might bother some of you out there. So the most noticeable con to me personally is it's just the size of the machine. The machine is very heavy. Like I said, it's about double heavy than what I'm used to using. The weight of this is almost double, and it's a very long machine. So being that I like the tapered grip, but the length of the grip is a little bit long. And the problem is I can't get like a comfy, the adjustable stroke thing here kind of sits in a weird angle for my personal hand. You might not have issues if you have smaller hands or bigger hands. Mine are kind of like medium large. I wear large gloves, but for my hand, I can't get a comfy like balance because it's long and it's heavy, so I have a lot of back balance. It almost feels like the old school like coil machines where you have like a cord coming off. That's why earlier I said if you use the RCA adapter to shorten this machine down to here, I feel like it felt way better and more ergonomic in my hand, but That was a little bit of a con for me personally. Did it hinder me from doing, dope tattoos all week? No, it didn't. It was just a little bit of an adjustment to get used to. What could be a con of that too? If you're an older tattoo artist, you've been tattooing for years and you don't want something heavy, then this probably won't be for you. Or if you have like sensitive wrists or hand pain going on, that could just be a factor that could, come into play with that. And for me, I don't know. It was struggled a little bit. And like I said earlier, I expected the weight to be a little bit heavier with the adjustable stroke length. I just feel like that's, you're gonna get that. Another thing that, was a little bit interesting to me, kind of a con, is the screen. I feel like the screen, can you see this? The screen is a little bit hard to read. I feel like it's very dim, especially when you have it wrapped up, or if you have like, tape over here or barrier film or a sleeve, you almost cannot see the screen. I don't feel like there was a setting to make it brighter. I dove in pretty deep and looked. The screen is just, the numbers are a little bit small to read and it's just not bright enough. I feel like the screen needs to be a little bit brighter. And personally, if you can see, it goes horizontal. You have to read it like this. When you're tattooing, it's kind of strange. I mean, you can see it, but you kind of have to focus, but I would just prefer it. It would be nicer if it was just vertical down, a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter. I don't need color, just brighter. And lately I've been using like tinted dark gray barrier film, and it was very difficult to see what's going through. But luckily I usually run at the same volt, so I set my volts and that's it. I don't have to check it too much. But being new and not familiar with how it operates, it's a little bit of a learning curve with the screen brightness on here. Another thing that was a little interesting, depending on how you wrap your machine, it could be hard to adjust the adjustable stroke on the fly. I wrap mine with grip tape, barrier film, or sleeves, and when you have that wrapped, sometimes you can't turn this. If you wrap this, how can you see or turn your grip? That could be a con. So I haven't figured out, unless you do a full barrier sleeve, that way you could kind of twist it. The sleeve will twist a little bit. I'm sure that's gonna be an issue for all adjustable stroke style machines, but I haven't found a very easy fix for that. Generally, I run all my machines at 4.0 though, so for me specifically, I just set it and left it. If I wanted it a shorter stroke, I would just do it before that tattoo. I honestly, I don't flip strokes too often during the tattoo session, but just keep that in mind. That could be a con for you. And I have one more con with this thing, and it's kind of a weird one, but it's something that I kind of noticed. So look at my machine very closely. See where my adjustable stroke length is back here? It's on the back of the machine like that, right? Now, if you look at the box, it shows it on front. You see that? The screen lines up with the stroke lengths. Mine does not. My screen is here, and my stroke lengths are on the back. Now, I tried to disassemble this and twist this off to see if you could line it up, because I would prefer it like that. I just think it looks cleaner and it just makes more sense, but there's no way to set up my machine to have this in the front. I thought that was a little bit odd. I don't know if that's just this specific machine or if that's how they all just kind of come randomly. I don't know, but that was a little bit minor con to me. I don't know what that is. Is that just an error? Is that a manufacturing ploy? Like like they didn't plan it out good enough, right? Or is it just this machine just didn't get that? I don't know. But that's something of noting. Let's talk about my final thoughts, right? So this is a wireless adjustable stroke tattoo machine, right? Adjustable stroke lengths for $398, which is a very good price point. There's not many, I don't know any other machine that on the market that has adjustable stroke length that is fully wireless. I mean, there is another one. What is it? The AKIS maybe? I haven't used it, and I know it's more expensive. So this is the cheapest machine that I know of that has adjustable stroke lengths that is fully wireless. This is a very well-made, quality product for the price and for what it is. I don't think you can really go wrong with this if this is what you're looking for in the market. I think if you have big hands, I think this will probably work out. If you have big hands, I don't think the balance issue will bother you, or the weight of this thing, it really won't. So if you're looking for that full wireless adjustable stroke length machine, I mean, I really think this is competitive. It is. This is a really good one to consider. Check it out. But like I said, if you have, if you're an older artist, you have some hand pain going on, some wrist pain, you got the tennis elbow, this might be a little bit too heavy. You might not dig it. And I think there's only one grip. I do like the tapered grip, but I think there's only one current size you can get, so you'll probably have to wrap it a little bit. It's not a big deal for me. A lot of this stuff is nitpicky, right? I mean, honestly, I could grab any machine on the market and do a solid tattoo with it. It's just doing it day in and day out for hours, every day, and just making it comfortable. So for this, it's more like, what is the most comfortable machine for me to use every day, like 80 hours a week? that has good performance too, and has some features that make it easy to read and just use. Like everyday, just easy stuff. And if you're somebody that only uses one stroke length and you really don't care, you know, maybe it'll be a pass. But I don't see why that'd be a con, right? Like why don't you want to use multiple stroke lengths? You can still get it because it's cheaper and you can adjust your stroke length. Maybe there's that one tattoo that someone begs you to do that you didn't want to do, but you need to adjust your stroke length. Well, you can do it with this. Overall, I think it's a solid machine. There are some cons to it. I would give it probably, I'm gonna be hard. I'm gonna give it a 7.5, possibly 8, okay? Possibly, for how this runs, like just tattooing alone, running, the smoothness, the build quality, it's easily 8, 8.5. But the weight issues, a little bit of the weird balance, some of the, you know, the stroke being on the back of it, or just some stuff like that. 7.5, I'm being critical. So, you know, this is an honest review, it really is. That's what I think. You know, the screen upgrades, a little bit brighter. That being said, there is a new version of this. There is the X2 that released, I believe recently, to the filming and posting of this video. I have not tried that machine, but I did see that the screen has been upgraded. So I'm thinking that the new X2 is already upgrading the screen issue, just made it a little bit brighter, bigger, vertical. I don't know if they upgraded the weight or anything like that. It is a little bit more expensive, so keep that in mind. So, but it's probably an improvement, and I'm thinking I think this is a very good start for them, right? They have multiple different machines, but for the adjustable stroke length, I think the Bronc X1 is a good starting point, and I feel like the X3, the X4, the X5, if they keep going, are probably gonna be absolute bangers. They're probably gonna be really good. You get the lightness down on this, you make it a little bit shorter, have that adjustable stroke length, you have yourself a 10 out of 10, like, future machine. You have something that's very hard to compete with, especially if the price point stays in this ballpark. If you even sell that for $500 with adjustable stroke that's light, game over. I mean, it's gonna be hard for anybody to compete with that, regardless if, you know, American made or not, customer service or whatever. That'll be a really baller machine. I think this one is starting something nice. I'm looking forward. I'm probably gonna check out the X2. I'll check it out, and I'll do a review too, because I'm curious if some of my personal cons to me, and once again, it's to me only, right? Everybody's different, but I'm wondering if they did fix some of those issues. So I don't know, go out, check it out. Once again, if you don't like it, well, you can turn it into a good street fight weapon, take someone right out. I'll do that in a second. No one will stop me. I'm not gonna do shit.